left it on scene. I ain't right back, I don't trust nobody. I just looked at my wrist, I got time today. Fuck it, I'm crossing the line today.
People are still confused as to what we all witnessed, but it's okay because we'll take a few flashbacks to catch a few of you up as to what you all saw play out right before your eyes.
This time around, you guys are hearing exclusively from me that the receipts are checking out. But if all the receipts are checking out that I'm going to put out, R. Kelly may be innocent. Yeah. So much so, I took down the video that I did on the so-called enablers because I got that information from Angelo, Tim Savage, Cass Jones. Who else? Who else gave me that information? It was so many people. Lisa Van Allen. Yeah.
Oh, I'm pretty sure by now so many like me are looking at Tasha K like, what's happening there? What a mistake that though. You told us you had all this information. For all these years you've led this R. Kelly hate train. Now when this whole bullshit case is blowing up in all these bad actors' face, she's talking about all this other stuff, but where are the receipts?
Live to you. Facebook live to you. Radio live to you. Radio fuck you.
I heard a bird chirping, but it's funny I didn't hear too much being said. I've always maintained that I'm the only person that speaks for me. So when I watch imbeciles get on their platforms and then try to reference things coming from my platform, when clearly the things that I say don't align with the things that they say, and that's where I have issues with them. And instead of recognizing that is the division between some of us R. Kelly bloggers and supporters, that is where a lot of subscribers are being misled. So with that being said, I personally don't care who you're entertained by, but the facts are the facts when it comes from me. And I observe not only what's in the indictment, but the actions of these people, more so the stories that come from their mouth. So when it comes to these birds chirping, let them chirp. Let them keep giving their dumbass opinions. Because at the end of the day, we see past the bullshit. And a lot of these people that are being implicated now, as I told you 2 years ago, they were moving shady then, so it gave me the impression they would be doing exactly what they're doing now. Still hiding behind bloggers and other individuals to carry out their messages. But at the end of the day, peep game. All of this is a mirage.
Former employee of R. Kelly said at first she did not want to believe that it was him. Lindsay Perryman worked for Robert Kelly on and off from 1999 to 2006, doing everything from cleaning floors to handling the defendant's personal business. She told the court that included driving the alleged victim in the now infamous sex tape to and from his Olympia Fields home. She also testified to often seeing the girl in Kelly's recording studio, sometimes carrying a pillow and an overnight bag. The image that I saw looks exactly like Mr. Kelly, Perryman said. then IDing the female on the tape, citing her facial features and her cheekbones. During cross-examination, defense attorney Mark Martin inquired about Perryman's purported master's degree from a recording conservatory in Arizona, a degree she said took only months to acquire. I didn't go to Oxford or Harvard, no, Perryman replied. Also taking the stand was Jada Burnett, a family friend of the alleged victim. She said the female on the tape was about 12 or 13 at the time and noted her distinctive cheeks and facial structure.
People didn't receive my message when I said there were clearly people intentionally trying to taint the messages being put out here to help support R. Kelly. And to this day, people are still distracting you from the truth. They all have their own reasons for why they do what they do. But just know, I see past the bull. So the last thing some of these so-called supporters should do is come for me when they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Every time you turn around, it's somebody beefing, and money is the underlying issue. Now, if you think back, think at these stories of people talking about these GoFundMes that were shut down, and certain individuals claim they set them up. Oh, how quickly some forget, but I don't.
You done fucked up, you know that, don't you? I thought. No, so, you know what I'm saying? You done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?
The more questions that cop asked, the more I thought I wasn't gonna never see daylight again.
This time you said you bought the bottle.
I was just waiting for them to tell me they seen that damn videotape, but they hadn't.
No, you done fucked up, don't you? No, it does. No, you done fucked up.
Without the tape, they had nothing.
We did our job. We brought the information to the public. Surviving R. Kelly went off, we kept that shit going. We got bus drivers, we got police officers, we got assistants, we got friends, we got people to lie. We got the storage. We got motherfucking video, audio. You ever seen that? We got the storage. We got motherfucking video, audio. You ever seen Asriel at my house? You ever seen parents at my house? We got assistants. We got friends. We got people to lie. We got the storage. We got motherfucking video, audio. You ever seen Asriel at my house? You ever seen parents at my house? We got police officers. We got assistants. We got friends. We got people to lie. We got the storage. We got motherfucking video, audio. You ever seen Asriel at my house? You ever seen parents at my house?
Because one of them teenagers, he had my nephew guy put his ass on it. How about that? With school when she got pregnant with my nephew. How about that?
Oh no. How old was he?
Oh yeah. Huh?
How old was he?
Grown as fuck.
So she was a minor?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, they got the wrong motherfucker. Yeah.
Dawn, you crying on Christmas when he got that bonus money, and you was talking about how you was getting ready to leave him. You fuck this, you ready to tell it all, and this and that, and because he wouldn't pay you, because he went and took his, what he called himself, call it the family. He took the family shopping for Christmas, and ain't pay you your money. You was sitting there broke as a joke, sitting there crying about a man that didn't pay your money, and you ain't had a heart to say nothing. And then when he paid you, you was like a little girl to the companion. You was on the phone with, oh, he got my money, everything good. I could go do this now like a kid. Dude, you don't want to play with me, bro. They facts.
Now it's funny when I see these peons always trying to reference me. But it's funny, these people that made this plan to come onto YouTube and these social media platforms with these grander stories, they didn't have the common sense to allow these people that are the mouths for them to at least have the insight of the type of information they had already put out there. So when they get on their platforms and they get to asking these dumbass questions and they reference me and they bypass the fact that the way I maneuver is completely opposite to them. I'm not trying to include myself in this federal investigation. I'm not trying to end up in no federal indictment trying to be nosy. Period. Now, usually I bypass the names, but right about now, I'm a little over all this wishy-washy bullcrap and the fact that for the past 2 years, people have bypassed valuable information I've given you about individuals and then want to sit here and keep focusing on other individuals who they claim weren't even around, which always put my focus back on the individuals who were. But when you try to make sense to dumbass people, they don't catch what you're saying. So let's remind you, the twins came out here and they vouched for specific individuals. They helped solidify a lot of interviews. And in my opinion, they were stirring the pot and putting out mixed information on these public platforms. And every time it comes back to them as a person spreading misinformation, it's always them throwing their hands up like, oh, well, I didn't know, and oh, my bad, and blase, blase. But these are the sources that these goofy ass people like to run with and knock down other people who have valuable information. And the reason these people don't want to talk to those dummies is because look how they act. These people fail to realize in the industry how you move is everything. They want to know why celebrities aren't speaking out. They want to know this, they want to know that, but they can't sit back and watch what people are doing and letting that speak volumes. So when these twins came out and they first threw out this person under the bus, they started doing all this shady stuff with the music. All this power of attorney started to come into play. The Keith person is brought out for an interview. All this stuff, which is now being brought into the paperwork that they don't want to read. The twins were the first one to came out and told you that they started a GoFundMe. But what they came to YouTube and said was, everything positive for R. Kelly was getting shut down. They didn't tell you that these fraudulent ass accounts they were doing were being investigated. So in my personal opinion, just watching these people continuously talk about defense fund, I just feel like that is a diversion. I'm not sitting here finna go back and forth with if a defense fund is legal or not when one of the attorneys already vouched for it. Am I finna attack his credibility? No, it's not that deep. I'm here to provide information from reliable sources and information that has already been put out. Let me remind you.
Lord, please forgive me how I'm living. I was born to drive